Shalawam. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutation to the Akim after pushing this truth and sincerity. Shalawam. This lesson is going to be about love, and I'm going to start it off with 1 John 2 and 15. And it reads, "Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him." That's pretty much self-explanatory. I mean, you can't be loving the world. You can't love your life. You can't love your house, your wife, your children, your cars, your possessions. All that stuff is going to pass away, and you got to have your hope set on heavenly things, your treasures. You got to have that in heaven, and that's going to be on the other side when the Lord establishes his kingdom, and hopefully we're a part of that number. And it says, if any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. You don't love the Father if you love the world. If you really do care about losing your stuff, the prophets before us, they lost a lot of things. So you gotta consider that. If you call yourself a prophet, the Lord might put you through some things to where you're gonna lose some stuff, whether it be your wife, your house. You might find yourself homeless. You never know. So, and just because you find yourself in that position, don't mean that you're an unrighteous man. You just gotta be spiritual and know that the Lord is dealing with you. And I mean, because He could be dealing with you, punishing you, on that aspect, and you're not doing the work, and you're not indulging in scripture and focusing on prophecy, and then you go through that stuff. I mean, the Lord does chastise who He loves, but He also punishes you too. So it's twofold, you can count it as this or that. But if you know you're doing the works, and you know you're not loving this world, then you're a spiritual man, and you know that the Lord is just testing you and making you better if you're going through certain things, which all of us go through things, uh, but not to stray away from love. But I'm gonna keep reading. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, that the world, everything in this world is the lust of the flesh, pretty much. Um, Everything you see on TV, ads, because you driving down the street, you see an ad or a billboard. It's about something that you desire. It's gonna be like food or something. That's the lust of the flesh. Um, they keep reading, and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father. Proud of life. You proud that you living. You proud, hey, I'm living, I made it. I know people that didn't live to see 28, and uh is not of the Father, but is of the world. All that pride is of the world. If you got pride in your heart anyway, you need to let that go, because the Lord's not dealing with a prideful person. And the word passes away, and Salakia, and the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, and he that does the will of Yahawah abideth forever. So if you do the will of the Father, uh, uh, you're gonna abide forever. You're gonna be set up on high in the kingdom to come. So those are our treasures that we look for. Next scripture is gonna be 1 John 5 and 3. Still in 1 John, see 5 and 3. All right. And it reads, "For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous." So that's the love of the Lord. And I know I strayed away, from love, but all this ties into love, because love is keeping the commandments of the Lord. And it said that and his commandments are not grievous. We want to keep the laws. which the commandments is the law. We want to keep the laws, even though we find ourselves breaking the laws and stumbling. We desire to keep the laws fully, and we know that in this society, in this age, it's impossible. But some brothers probably can do it better than others, considering their circumstances. But we're all striving to keep the law totally. And I'm not saying even those brothers that's doing it better than others are keeping it fully. They just might be able to do one better than another. Some might be able to observe the Sabbath day better than another brother that's observing the Sabbath day. So that's love, keeping the commandments. I'm gonna read that again. Um, 1 John 5:3. For this is the love of God, that we keep His commandments, and His commandments are not grievous. That's how you know they're not grievous, because us brothers, we want to keep the laws. We know that we want to keep the laws, even though we stumble and we fail, because the scriptures say, even though a man falls 7 times, we got to keep on picking ourselves up and striving to do better. All right, and my second scripture that the Lord put on me to bring out precept is 1 Peter 4:8. Let's see, 1 Peter 4:8. Seeing somebody post this scripture, and I know they didn't know what the hell it was talking about, but I'm gonna read it, and I'm gonna try to break it down best of my ability, Lord willing. All right, this is 1 Peter 4:8. And above all things, have fervent charity among yourselves, for charity shall cover the multitude of sin. So we gotta have charity, and the word charity, it goes back to love, but I'm gonna bring it out in the blue letter. Charity. Let me see. 1 Peter. The word charity. Okay. Let me see. Four and 8. Okay. Charity is agape in the Greek, G26 in the Strong's. And it's from the Greek word agape, and I'm gonna look it up, and then I'm gonna get into the etymology of that word, and break it down even further. It says affection, goodwill, love, benevolence, brotherly love, feast, feast. Okay, and I'm gonna break it down. It says the root word or the etymology is G25, and click on that, and it says agapo, and it's pretty much saying of persons, to welcome, to entertain, to be fond of, to love dearly, of things, to be well pleased, to be contented at or with a thing. And that's going into deeper into that word agape, which goes down to agapo, and it breaks down a little further. And I'm gonna go to this last one, even though it might be straying away a little bit, but then it goes to philo. That's to love, to approve, to like, to sanction, and it breaks down a little more. I'm gonna keep going because it was a part of this definition of the etymology. And we're going back from charity to agape in the Greek, to agapo, to philo, and then philos, and this is the primitive word. This is what I was looking for. It says friend, to be friendly to one, wish him well, a friend, an associate, he who associates familiarly with one, a companion. Now that's about charity. I'm gonna read the scripture again. It says, this is 1 Peter And 8, and above all things, have fervent charity among yourselves. Talking about the brotherhood. For charity shall cover the multitude of sins. Okay, now this is the last definition that I wanted to bring out. It says one of the bridegroom's friends who on his so the bridegroom got many friends, but one of the bridegroom's friends who on his behalf asks the hand of the bride to render him various services, enclosing the marriage and celebrating the nuptials. Okay, the reason why I wanted to get down to this because it says the bridegroom's friends, and we all know who the bridegroom friend is. That's Yahawashi. And who's the bride? That's the elect, you know, and of Yasharallah, which it speaks about us in Revelations, I believe, um, and it prophesies about the marriage throughout the whole Bible. But we're gonna talk about. Well, I don't want to say that, but I know it's in Revelation. It says one of the bridegroom's friends who on his behalf asked the hand of the bride and rendered him various services enclosing the marriage